Hey guys, Little V here. Yes, you can use my music, and no, I don't do tabs. And welcome back to... this doesn't have a name yet. Little V's Lessons. We'll call it that for right now. So for this particular video, we're going to break down one of the more iconic guitar sounding songs, and that is E1M1 from Doom. So E1M1 is basically just Painkiller by Judas Priest. If you're not familiar, it sounds something like this. So once again, I am in standard tuning for everyone who wants to follow along, because as I said, chances are if you're learning and searching at videos like this, you're probably in standard tuning. So the main notes in the riff are E, D, C, A sharp, and B, with a lot of chugging on E. So this song is a little bit more intermediate because one, it's fast, and two, it requires some palm muting and some muting techniques for that kind of stuff. Palm muting for the complete beginners, by the way, is where you literally use the palm of your hand and go to mute the string. Hence the name palm muting, because if you didn't, it would just sound like this. Also, depending on where you put your hand on the actual guitar itself, will mute it more or less. So to put this into absolute layman's terms, you're going to basically go chug chug note. Chug chug being the E string, and then note whatever you have to hit. So we're starting off with E, which is the 7th fret on the A string. So you're going to go, then D, then C, then A sharp, and then here's where it changes. And you're going to go from A sharp to B, and you're going to hammer on it. And then you're going to do the exact same thing again, but when you get to this part, instead of going to the, you're going to actually change it just slightly, and we're going to basically play the devil's note, which is you take a power chord, so we're playing an A sharp power chord, or an A sharp 5, if you want to get real technical. And you're going to take the 5th, which in this case is F, and then you're going to just flatten that back down to an E. And you get that wonderful devil's note sound. And then if you want to make it, big, full, and sound, you just add another F, A sharp at the top here. So all together, you have slowly. You can throw in some arm flails and stuff if you want to as well too. It's kind of hard not to go like. Also, apologies if you keep hearing me hit the 7th string. As I've mentioned, the only guitar, I think I mentioned this in the last video, the only guitar I have set to standard right now is my 7th string. And I'm not the best 7th string player, but you can still get the idea. That also leads into the next part of this, which is you can play this in a lot of different ways. So if you're playing in a drop tuning, you can also play it like this. What I'm doing there is I'm on the, in this case, I'm on the 7th fret, which if you're on a drop stringed 7 to A, blah, 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 blah. If you're in drop A, the 7th fret of the 7th string is E. So, what I'm doing there is I'm going 7th fret, and then 7th fret of the actual, like the regular A string, which is an octave in this case. Then we're using your pinky, which would be on the 10th fret, which is, again is your D. And you use your 2nd finger, which is your C. And then here's where it gets weird. You're going to slide your hand down to slide your first finger down, I guess, to the A sharp, and then use your middle finger to hit the E again, and then finish with a little hammer on it, which you can do a number of ways. So again, altogether, that would be. Still gotta do the chord the way the devil's note. And then the other way you can also play it is just play it all on the open E string and you just go. So that's basically your 12th fret, down to your 10th fret, down to your 8th fret, and then back down to where we were before. Sorry. Like that. which is kind of the way you'd expect to play it. But then comes the next part of the song, because then it basically moves in a 12-bar kind of fashion. So then it goes up to A. And then it goes back down to E. But here's where it gets weird. Then it goes to B, and because there's no, like, that's not a B string, you can't just go up again, it doesn't work that way, that's a B, and this doesn't work. I mean, it does, but it's way too high in the progression. You have to actually fret some stuff. So your fingers are basically still moving in the same pattern I mentioned before with that first bit. But now you're going to basically move that up to here, and you're going to start with your first finger on the 7th fret of the E string, which would be B, and then like so. So you're still kind of moving in the same shape. It's just now you have to have your first finger kind of rooted in place so you can chug on B. And of course, you can also play A here as well too. So as you can see, there are quite a few ways you can actually approach this. This is another reason why I don't do guitar tablature, is because there is 3 ways you can play it right there, depending on if you're in a drop tuning, depending on if you're in standard tuning, depending on if you're chugging along on open strings and stuff. And I feel like you don't really explore those options when you are looking at someone else's tablature, because tablature is just showing you exactly how to play it like someone else played it, right? Those 3 major ways of playing it will allow you to play it in any sort of tuning. You just kind of have to adapt it to whatever you're playing. So for example, if you're in drop C, that same shape I just made there, you would play up the 4th fret on your 6-string tuned guitar instead of up here on the 7th fret, because that's where your E would be. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to see me do more stuff like that, leave a request down below for what songs I'm going to break down. And again, hopefully this will turn into a series and hopefully won't be nuked into oblivion by YouTube. Anyways, rock on. Peace out. We'll see you next week.